my name is Daisy, and if you're like me, you're probably suffering a little bit with dry skin. So I'm going to be sharing with you top 10 ways to get rid of dry skin that are very easy, effective, and also cheap ways to do it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I never wear lotion. I do not have a single bottle of lotion. I felt like it was a simple mask to cover up dry skin while not really solving the root of the problem of dry skin. And you guys know I'm all about solving the root of the problem and not covering up. So here are 10 ways both internally and externally to get rid of that dry skin. So the first tip is to wash in lukewarm water. I know, it's really tempting to turn it up all the way to the left. I think it's all the way to the left in every single country. Let me know if I'm wrong. Is the hot water on the left? Turn it up all the way to the left in order to, be all warm and cozy. The hot water will strip away the really good oils in your skin. Try taking them less frequently and using not super hot water. The next way to get rid of dry skin is to exfoliate. Now I know we all like to exfoliate in the summer where we're showing off our legs in those Daisy Dukes, but it's also important to exfoliate in the winter time. So you can use different exfoliators. You can use things like a pumice stone or loofahs if you don't want to use any actual ingredients, or you can use just simple brown sugar in the shower, which is a really great, easy DIY kind of sugar scrub. But my favorite scrub to use is the Banish Lavender Cookie Scrub. It is all natural and it has cane sugar, shea butter, jojoba oil, and lavender. It smells so good. And also the lavender cookie scrub is all natural and vegan, and it's just amazing. But again, you don't have to get that. You can just use whatever sugars you have in your house. The next tip is to moisturize immediately after your shower. So after the shower, which should be lukewarm, not scalding hot, your pores will have opened to the heat, and when the pores have opened, it is the perfect time to moisturize. I like using oils. I don't like using lotions because I feel like lotions have just a ton of stuff that I don't know what's in there. So oils are great. You can use things like olive oil, coconut oil, any kind of natural oils are great for moisturizing. And also drier areas like feet, elbows, and knees tend to be more dry. Have you guys seen how ugly your elbow looks? I was looking at my elbow the other day and I was like, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. A great tip is, at night, put some, a dropper full of aloe vera oil on your feet at night, and then put socks over it and just sleep in your socks, which I do anyways. Next tip is moisturize your skin with oil. So try to get a oil-based solution versus a water-based solution because the oils will help your skin retain moisture. Olive oil is probably the easiest because I'm sure all you guys have olive oil in your kitchen. And what I like to do is I like to take a concoction of olive oil and coconut oil and just put it all over my skin for a really, really easy DIY moisturizer. Or I can also put it in my hair because my hair tends to get dry in the winter, and use it as a great hair mask. And it's an amazing makeup remover, so olive oil, FTW. The next tip is to use mild cleansers. Some of my favorites are, for example, Elbow Organics has a really great cleanser. It doesn't foam. I like using also the fresh soy cleanser, and I also use the green tea cleanser by Banish. Now we haven't started selling this yet because I've just been testing it and using it, but I love it because it's almost milky, and it's not really like what you think of as a cleanser, because you always think of cleansers as having to foam, but actually the foaming action in cleansers and shampoos was actually added by some psychologist or marketing guy because he thinks that people will want to wash their hair and face more if it's suds. So I think it was a brilliant marketing plan for them, but in actuality you don't need those suds on your face, and it can actually strip away your skin more. So yes, cleanse your face with things that don't foam. And also try avoiding things like dyes or fragrances because it can be irritating to the skin. The next tip is to protect your skin. So remember to wear scarves, especially when I used to live in Minnesota and it was super, super cold there. I would put the scarf just barely covering my eyes, so that way this part of my skin wasn't prone to the fierce cold also wear hats, not only to keep your body temperature warm, because I know like, what is it, like 70% of the heat comes from your head, but also I know they sell these hats with like a brim and also with like the little like things for your ears to kind of protect your skin from the sun. And don't forget about the mittens and other cute little accessories you can wear for the winter time. The next tip is to not forget about the sunscreen. Now I know everyone's like, I know summer is like synonymous with sunscreen and people just somehow forget to wear sunscreen in the winter time, but unless you live in one of those areas where it's like dark for like 24 hours in a day, the sun does not disappear during the winter, okay? So it's really important to wear sunscreen, and also make sure, like if you're going sledding, skiing, doing any of those outdoor activities, make sure to put sunscreen on. So many people forget. And do not forget to put on sunscreen or some kind of chapstick with SPF on your lips, because lips are really prone to breakage and the sun damage will just cause it just to be really, really unkissable, really gross, flaky lips, and you want to be kissing underneath the mistletoe. Okay, the next tip is to drink plenty of water. So again, summer is kind of synonymous with drinking a lot of water, those cool fruit infusion bottles, whatever, but it's so important to drink water in the winter time because the heat we use and the cold air will really strip away moisture and hydration in our bodies. And also remember to eat a lot of foods that have water, a lot of water content. For example, celery, cucumbers, watermelon, tomatoes. The next tip is to use a humidifier. Now, I have a few humidifiers at my house, but I also kind of like do things purposely to keep my place moisturized. And one thing I do is I actually dry my clothes. I don't use a dryer. I've never used a dryer, ever. I don't use a dryer because, one, it's really bad for the environment, and the second thing is a lot of my clothes, I feel like I don't want to dry them. Instead, I actually hang up my like clothes from the washer, and I hang them around my bedroom. I know it's like really weird, but it's like what Chinese people like to do, and it actually helps like as a natural like moisturizer humidifier, because you know the water from the clothes will evaporate, you know, circulate along your room. I also have like pockets of water. Sometimes I'll just put a bowl of water. And what I like to do is also like for a spa day or like for a steam, I will just take some hot water, put it in a bowl and just kind of let it steam around, and it's really, really great. And the last tip is to use DIY masks. Now, they don't have to be super fancy or expensive. There's a lot of really good ingredients to use, and you can mix them to your heart's desire and use them for hair or face masks. Now, some of my favorite ingredients to use in these masks are like coconut oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, avocado, bananas, honey, whatever. So try and experiment with those different ingredients, mash them up and put them on your skin and let them sit for about 15 minutes or until dry, and your skin will just feel so soft and moisturized after. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope these tips helped in getting rid of your dry skin and with the battle of the dry skin. Let me know in the comments below what you like to do, what your secret is for getting rid of dry skin. And don't forget to subscribe because I make videos every Tuesday and Friday. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!